it's a really good question. Carla McManus is the program director here at Alzheimer's Services of the East Bay. And she said, what can we do? What can we all do to help those first responders or those individuals that are working at assisted livings? And I think the best thing that we can do, one, if we know somebody that's going to work every day to care for someone, and you can see that they're leaving their house, and they're not just going out because they're tired of being in their house. You can see they have on scrubs. They look like a first responder or someone going to care for others. Put a sign up in your window that just says, thank you for what you're doing. Go to, again, using social distancing, you can go to a facility. I was thinking about this the other day, Carla, about going to the local assisted living near my house and just calling them ahead of time and say that I would be out there just to wave and say, how you doing, to the people that live inside, so that they're just not so isolated. Because while there may be people living in the facilities with COVID-19, there's still a whole bunch of people that are living in these facilities without COVID-19. And not all of them have the ability to use their laptops or whatever and do Zoom. That's the other thing that I've learned. I was so assumptive that everybody had the capability of using Zoom, or knew how to use it, or had what do you call these phones? The new phones. Here I go aging myself, friends. But the new kind of phones, and they still are using flip phones that don't even have the capability for video. They don't even have the opportunity to use Facebook. So, any way that we can reach out. It's interesting going back to the old phone. I got rid of my landline a couple of years ago, and now I'm wishing that I didn't, right? So that I could call more people, because I also have this paranoia about having the cell phone to my head, along periods of time. So, Carla, what do you have any ideas that you'd like to share with everybody that you think we could do more of? I know, you've been to the point, and how assisted livings work. You've also worked in those environments. And what could we do to let those folks in those assisted livings know we're thinking about them, and how could we support them?
Something that we found helpful with our seniors, although we have a small number who can get out, is we do have a lot that are still in home. So getting friendly visitors. So if you have time and a phone, volunteer with some of the different organizations that we've been using, like Elder Care. Volunteer to be a friendly visitor, so that all you have to do is call someone and chat with them for a few minutes of your day. Because I know that we're using them like crazy, so I'm sure they would appreciate some help.
So the senior living facilities are really in need also of PPE, personal protection equipment. I know people are making masks. I have lots of masks that people are making. We've received a lot of them here at Alzheimer's Services. But the new thing that we're finding that we really need a lot of are the plastic barrier shields. And we have ordered them ourselves for our facility and just cannot find them. They're on back order. But I did go online and see that Micheal's has a pattern on how to make them. So if there's a group of people out there that feel like they want to make the mass barriers for assisted livings to be delivered to them, I'm sure they would love that. And gloves, I know, are always a commodity for us. And then any kind of barrier equipment that they can wear. We call it personal protection equipment, but it's really like a jumpsuit. If we could get disposable ones, or ones that can even be washed, that would be something that I think assisted livings sending I know they're not allowed. I'm not sure what the rules are, but send them. I know I got some strawberries. We got strawberries from a group of families that wanted to let us know how much they appreciated us being here. So sending a basket of fruit, sending flowers, sending cards. making cards, and you don't even have to know the name of the resident, but you can go online and find out how many beds are in that facility and just, write a card, dear friend, and send 100 of them to your local assisted living or senior living facility. So that's really, really easy to do. Those are things that will support people who are helping people. I always like it when people send me a card in the mail. I love cards. So just send a card out to somebody and let them know that you're thinking about them. If you have a senior that you're caring for, or seniors in your churches or in your community centers that you are no longer able to congregate together for the groups, because how important socialization is to our seniors, putting together a little activity kit. I think we had one. Here's one. Yeah. So we put together these little activity kits, and I love them. It's just a hefty bag that you can. It's a plastic bag, so it can be wiped. That's one thing that we made sure that everything could be wiped down, and that we did everything with gloves on. So we put this whole package. It's no longer. It would have to be cleaned again because I don't have gloves on. But we sanitized made sure our hands were covered for everything that went inside. And then once it was sealed, each bag was also sanitized on the outside. And they're going to be going out as well. My friend Susie is telling me that they think the delivery of packages, you can deliver packages. So you could put these together, and there's a balloon in here. There's a card that was put in here on what the activity is for. There's a glue stick, a couple of pencils, a word search. Let's see what else. A caregiver stress survey for caregivers, so something for a caregiver. And if it's a faith-based community, you might want to put an affirmation or prayer or a Bible verse. So an activity kit is something that can be used by everyone, and just your focus or what you may be. We're a nonprofit, so we're not a faith-based organization, and so we have to be careful because we get funded also by government funding. And even though many of us that work within this setting are people of faith and believers, but we do put things in here that will lift people up. Like there's an affirmation page in here of just daily affirmations to lift the spirits of the caregivers. And again, wherever you're adjusting your activity bag from, this is a time that you can really help people in that way.